I was a child growing up in Maryland and spending a lot of time in Washington, D.C. I would drive by the neighborhoods with my parents driving the car where predominantly black people, in fact almost all black people lived. And they looked so raggedy and sad and their neighborhoods were so run down and miserable. I just thought, wow, what a horrible way for these poor, honest, decent citizens to live. If I woke up in the morning and I were, as we called them then, a colored person, a black person, we call them now, I'd want to kill myself. And that was, let's say, 60 years ago. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if I woke up and were a black person, I would think, well, I have every opportunity to go to a really good school. I have every opportunity to live in a really good neighborhood. I have every opportunity to get a really good job. The whole system is now set up so that I, as a black American, can have every chance at a good life. And that is incredible, unbelievable progress. It's never discussed in the media.
This guy had that one iconic line in the movie. And I think I have it right? That was him, right, Ravana? Bueller, Ben Stein. Just stick to that. He's still talking about black people, and it's getting a little crazy, okay? He's either a staunch racist who hid it for some time, and now plaque or whatever is building up on his brain. He cannot stop himself from revealing it. He says black people should stop complaining. Why would I do that? I like to complain. Why would I do that, Ben Stein? You understand, he's babbling on and on about something, riding with his parents and driving by black people. Like, what was that movie Eddie Murphy did, Trading Places? This is not Trading Places, Ben. And again, I want him to just go sit at Waffle House and enjoy his days and leave the rest of us alone. Still, though, he has his supporters. He makes filthy racist statements like that, and there's people who come out of the woodwork to support him, such as disgraced Dilbert cartoonist Scott Adams. He came to Stein's defense online. Ben Stein is getting the fake news racist treatment from the Peacock class. All stories about public figures are fake in one way or another. The public learned a similar lesson about science, but it is taking longer to realize the human stories are pretty much all fake as well. Okay. You can take a shot at Fauci now. Fauci's to blame for Ben Stein's racism. Ravana?
Yeah, he said that if he woke up as a black person, he would want to kill himself, which is funny because incidentally, that's the same way I feel about Adam Scott coming to my defense. But so he says that now black people in America have every opportunity to live in a good neighborhood and go to a good college and go to a good school. And I mean, he could come here to Chicago and say that to the poor black kids who live on O Block. And I really don't think that it would reign true.
I want him to go to that block. Can we buy him a ticket tonight? I've got a lot of frequent flyer miles and I'm happy to donate. Ben Stein to go. Where do you want to send him, Ravana? Go ahead.
Bring him here, Chicago. But, I mean, it is really ridiculous and ignorant. First of all, who asked you, Ben Stein? Why are you even opening your mouth? You said just sit at Waffle House, eat your waffles and mind your business. Because, who's recording the video also? Like, what was he asked someone to hold their phone up so that he could go on some racist rant as if black people are always coming up to him, Ben Stein, and discussing, their trauma and the struggle of being black in America. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's so, it's such an example of how so many white racists act every day, where it's as if people pointing out racism is in some way harmful to them. Yeah. It's somehow, his business, and it's somehow harming him as an individual, which is just ridiculous. But again, Scott Adams coming to his defense, he's got great company there.
Yeah, speaks volumes, and they can go ahead and they can be pals and Facebook friends and whatever else they want to do. Again, this is a man who had said his speaker's fee is $40,000 to $70,000. I wouldn't give him $4.70. You understand? And if I did, I'd want $2.75 back. Okay, maybe he could buy a hot dog at Costco with the rest. That's all this is worth. And by the way, I meant what I said. I'm black and I like to complain, and I have a right to complain. Let's run it down for you. The most common complaints by Black Americans are, according to a recent poll conducted by the Pew Research Center, about 6 in 10 Black adults say racism and police brutality are extremely big problems for Black people in the US today. Thank you, Pew Research Center. But you didn't need to spend $1 on that. You could have called me and I could have told you facts all day, okay? Racism, 63%, police brutality, 60%, economic inequality, 54%, affordable health care, 47%, efforts to limit voting, voter suppression, 46%, quality of K through 12 schools, our future, 40%, racial discrimination, 68%. We're gonna keep complaining, Ben, you get over it. In terms of government institutions standing in the way of progress, many Black adults say institutional overhauls are necessary to ensure fair treatment, okay? Kind of like what you were talking about with reparations, okay? Prison system, policing, the courts, judicial process, political system, the economic system, the healthcare system. Gee, what are we satisfied with? In terms of the percentage of Black Americans that think the following issues have little chance of being resolved, that means little hope, just like it says there, among Black adults that change is likely. Reparations to descendants of people enslaved in the US, little hope, 82%. Thanks, San Francisco NAACP chapter head. Changes to the prison system, 67% say little hope. Changes to policing, 58%, little hope. Is Senator Scott vote in this? Senator Tim Scott, was he part of this? The team will let me know, please. Equality for Black people in the US, 44% say little hope. Ben Stein, put up his picture again if you can for me, because it really doesn't even need a caption. This is what he's been reduced to. This is who he is. Bueller. Ravana, should we ignore him? Frankly, now I don't even want him at Waffle House. He can go to Cracker Barrel and that's not open 24 hours a day. He belongs at Cracker Barrel and he can sit there and do whatever he wants to do, but he has to go home at a certain point. But I don't want to see him up in Waffle House.
I mean, it's interesting because on the one hand, I really want him to shut up forever. On the other hand, I think he really is sort of voicing the opinions that a lot of conservative Americans have about Black people fighting for equality, is that things are good enough now. We had a Black president. We're fine. Racism's over. You can't, an employer, it's not legal for them to yell the N-word at you anymore. It's fine. Racism is done. But when we can look at these systems and objectively say, and all the research proves that, the effects of, slavery and Jim Crow, we still see them in our institutions in America today, and they still harm Black people and people of color in this country today, and that we have not solved racism in any meaningful sense. So, he's holding this opinion that I think a lot of people hold, but are a little too afraid to say. So at least when someone says the quiet part out loud, we can call them out and point out that the things that Black people are complaining about are real and valid and things that we need to fight and bring attention to.
Yeah, I mean, he makes everything sound so simple. Tyree Nichols, if he would just comply. Is that how you feel, Ben? Is that how you feel? I don't know if his comments were made while he was visiting Florida, but shut it, okay?